Welcome to yet another wonderful vitamin for the soul, vitamin love. And I would love to start with a quote from Albert Einstein. Quote, "There is an extremely powerful force that so far science has not found a formal explanation to. It is a force that includes and governs all others and is even behind any phenomenon operating in the universe and has not yet been identified by us. This universal force is love. Love is the universal force." Think about it. The truth about love is this: love is a gift we are all given. Love is always there. You don't have to do anything to get love. You are love. Love is always flowing in you, around you, and through you unless you are blocking the flow of it. Love always looks the same. Love always looks different. Love never ends. There is an endless supply of it. Love isn't dependent on someone or something else. Love is the essence of who you are. Love just is. You are that. And I really truly love what Gandhi says and how he expands on the concept of love. Quote, "Love has no limits, boundaries, or conditions. And that where there is love, there is life. And where there is love, there is a light." Such a beautiful quote to me that tells me that it is love that creates life around us. And where there is love, there is also light. And light to me is abundance, possibility, and openness. Dalai Lama says something very important about love. Quote, "If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. You will not be able to love others. If you have no compassion for yourself, then you are not able of developing compassion for others." So of course, loving ourselves can be even more difficult than loving others. And it's so important to recognize that unless we find a compassionate and kind relationship toward ourselves, that we actually start liking who we are and accept who we are. Without that, we actually never ever can love really others as much as the capability is there for us as a human being. So loving yourself and loving others, how would we go around this vitamin? What is really interesting to me is that a lot of us are looking what we want to do, what we need to do in order to create love, to be in the relationship that is loving. And the question really here is, who do I need to be to do what I want to do, or what I want to have in my life? So instead of always focusing on what do I need to do, there is a prerequisite to actually ask ourselves, who do I need to be to do what I want to do? So who do I need to be more loving person today in the morning when I get up and I am in the kitchen and I'm meeting my spouse, my lover, my loved one? What do I say? Who do I need to be the loving person? How do I greet them? Who do I need to be to greet them as a loving person? Like I said, doing and wanting come from a certain state of consciousness that I am currently in. So what I'm thinking, it's really, really important, because my thoughts will determine how I feel, and how I feel will determine how I'm going to show up, what I'm going to do or what I'm not going to be able to do because I'm feeling a certain way. Beautiful quote is here. Nothing can harm you as much as your own thoughts unguarded. So how that is really, really something important to recognize, that our thoughts are very, very important and we need to guard them. What happens when thoughts left unguarded? We have about 50,000 to 80,000 thoughts every day. And when they are left unguarded, thoughts can create a myriad of mental, emotional, and physical conditions. Left unguarded, our thoughts can make it very difficult to move forward in life. So it is therefore beneficial to understand how thoughts work, how thoughts impact on our health and well-being on a daily basis. And so here is a practical exercise, what a thought can create. I would like to just pause this video just for a couple of minutes and just put down these two words. I should, ... And the second one, I am not, ... And so write on the top of a piece of paper, I should, and just write what is coming up. I should be more healthy. I should exercise more. I should not be having second piece of pie. I am not as smart as my coworker. I am not as vibrant as I used to be. So write down these thoughts. So pause it, and I would like you to come back when you finish. So saying thank you. Thank you for coming back. And notice what kind of thoughts have come up while writing I should and I'm not. Because any times when we say I should, we are actually operating from the place of scarcity rather than from the place of real abundance. So your mind is really a garden and your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow seeds or weeds, I would say. So think, if I would look at your garden and I would ask you, can I enter your garden? Can you show me what kind of plants you have in your garden? Can you pause for a second and think, what is in your garden as your thoughts, figuratively speaking? What kind of flowers I would find, and also what kind of weeds I would find? And I would like to pause on those weeds. What weeds need to be uprooted from my life, right? What are those weeds? What are those thoughts that are holding me back? So we have usually weeds that can take really many forms, and they don't always grow outside, such as negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, unsupportive habits. Those are three actually categories of weeds as far as speaking about our thoughts. Negative thoughts are obvious, right? They create just some sort of negative statement about ourselves, about others, about circumstances, about a life. Limiting beliefs is, what we think about us, that we are not enough, that what we cannot. And unsupportive habits is that we think about something that we have failed perhaps in the past. Maybe we have not only failed once, but twice, thrice, and we just give up. We just says, I tried and it didn't happen. But we know that, for instance, Edison, he had to fail 10,000 times before he actually discovered light bulb. So it's really about how resilient I have, how I can have habits to be open to try again, and that failure is not going to stop me. So it is about, really know him, how I can go in the upward spiral of thinking and feeling, therefore, rather than going in the downward spiral. Because notice how feelings such as contentment, optimism, eagerness, love, and joy, how they are creating the upward spiral. But downward spiral, you can see that it has frustration, impatience, anger, rage, jealousy, guilt, powerlessness. So those are all, feelings that really come from a certain way of our habitual thinking about our beliefs or from our negative thoughts. And so therefore, that's the idea that we need actually to find out what they are, those thoughts, so that we can uproot them from our life. Just think about it for a second. Anytime you say, I'm strong, I'm well, I'm content, I am an expression of love, I am in love with my life, I am that I love me, we are in the harmony with the universal laws that govern the world. Anytime we say, I am, and we connected it to a positive and truthful statement about us. Anytime when we say, I'm not, I cannot, I have not, we are actually in misalignment with the universal laws that govern the world. And that is a work and beautiful work of mindfulness that can be done through the process of self-forgiveness, that we can drop these thoughts, these statements, that beliefs that we have about ourselves that do not serve us, they do not serve our loved ones, and they do not serve the world. They do not serve you so that you can really be your powerful self, that you can show up in the world in a powerful way, the way you always meant to be. So I am is a really very important statement, and it defines the state of your being, who you are being. I am two of the most powerful words in the world. So going back to love, and it is not only about what we think that we need to do in order to feel love, in order to be loved, in order to have the love in our lives. It is always about first who we are being. Who do I need to be most loving person? So being is the seed of all of our doing. Who we are being, you and I, at this moment, is the seed of what we actually are doing and will be doing. So if I'm saying, I am a loving kindness, that's a seed that I am planting, and it means that I'm going to show up like that. I'm going to be helpful. I will extend my hand. I will extend my time. I will be a great listener, right? So being is the seed of doing. And then doing then is the fruit of who you are being. Just the fact that I'm going to extend my hand and help, it's going to be the fruit of who I am being. So something really important here is that it's important to nurture the willingness to let go of thoughts about ourselves that keep us powerless and keep us away from being a true love to ourselves and to others and to this world and to serve powerless with power. Sometimes when we try to release a pattern, the whole situation seems to get worse for a while. This is not a bad thing. It is a sign that the situation is beginning to move. Our new way of thinking and using a new way we talk to ourselves is working, and we need to keep going. So as we start having that awareness, how we are talking about ourselves, things will not necessarily get immediately right. We will just realize how many thoughts, negative thoughts we might have about ourselves. But that sense of awareness, it's really important. It is just the way how we then start really developing the sense of our willingness to start the process of letting go. So think about it. Question: what's the story you are running in your mind about yourself and your world? Most people are unaware of thoughts they run their lives. So the action here is, what are the thoughts you have about yourself and your world? What's the inner voice that offers a running commentary about you and your life? It is an internal monologue that determines how you see yourself. So on this journey of being love, we need to first learn what we are thinking about ourselves and the world around us. Because the way we are thinking about ourselves determines how we see everything and everybody around us. And just notice what that inner voice is, what that inner voice is telling you. So I would like to really also connect something that I feel is very important when we speak about the vitamin love, and how it starts from the way how we are actually, talking to ourselves, how we are seeing ourselves. Because if we are not loving kindness toward ourselves, it's very difficult to be able to have that full love for others. Remember the quote: if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. You will not be able to love others. If you have no compassion for yourself, then you are not able of developing compassion for others. Now, this last quote is from Gary Mahler, and he says, quote, "Love and commitment are created by speaking them into action." So when I love someone, I say, I will be there at 5 o'clock. I will be there waiting for you, or I will be there ready for you. So this is my commitment to the other person. I'm speaking it into action. Am I going to show up at 5 or not? And he continues, unless you keep speaking them into existence, they will come undone. I must reinvent them in my speaking daily, or else they will evaporate like a mist. So I daily am showing up as a love and commitment. My speaking is what generates love and commitment. So what I'm saying is really the engine, the power that I am creating for the day, how I'm going to show up as someone who loves others, as someone who has the commitment toward myself and toward others. All transformation is created in the act of speaking and acting on what I say. Because I talk about being able to do something that makes that something possible. And if I don't act upon my words, generating what I say, it disappears. What a beautiful, beautiful way to create love daily when we speak the love. I love you, and I'm going to support you today by driving you back from work. So I'm showing the love, I'm showing the commitment, right? I'm speaking it. And my speaking is what generates love and commitment. And then all transformation is created in the act of speaking and acting on what I say. So I'm actually showing up in what I say and in my love. So I hope that this is helpful in the exploration of this beautiful vitamin of love. And, at the end, I would like you to just pause for a second and just ask yourself, what is it that I am thinking about love today? Because believe it or not, there are a couple of important things to consider with the vitamin love. Number one is the capability of acknowledge other person, to acknowledge the person that you love. Because when we acknowledge, we actually are in active act of kindness. And kindness is a seed of love. Also, what is really important with love is that we need to sometimes speak what it is for us that it's important that we want to feel. I have a friend who loves mowing the grass around their house. And his wife one day asked him, what is it I can do to really appreciate you for this work that you do? How I can acknowledge you? And he paused and he just said, well, one of the things what you might do is you might bring a glass of water if it's a hot day and I'm there outside in a yard. And she says, yeah, I can do that. Or when I'm down, you can just, say, wow, you did a really great job. I love it. And she just says, well, that's true. You always do a great job. And I can say that. So sometimes it is good to ask, the other person, what is the love language? How we can acknowledge them so that they can really feel that we love them, that we can daily create consciously love in our life. And so I'm wishing you to explore on this beautiful vitamin that is going to help you to open up to new possibilities in this beautiful life. Have a great day, and I see you for the next vitamin.